Hello everyone, welcome to the morning prototyping stream. I realized that perhaps, let's see what happens if you change the zoom of your screen while you are streaming. Wow, it actually works. So there we go. Today I'm thinking I'll do like 2, 3, maybe 3 prototyping streams this week, and then I have my and then I will maybe work like on Friday or Thursday or something. I will work a bit more on one of them that was more fun or something like that, just to get things going a bit more with my game dev stuff. However, I have not really decided what to do today yet, which is will be interesting, but we'll see. So as usual, I will use my game template, and the way I do that is by I have the Git repository checked out here, and I've shown this template before, but yeah, it's this template, right? And it's cloned into here. So what I do when I want to start something new with this is that I just copy and paste it, and then I name it something. And we have some to decide here, sort of, maybe from the name of this folder, what to do. Either I was thinking of doing some kind of racing game, or I was thinking of doing like SimCity, but inside your brain or something. You know, neurons, gray matter, who knows, or something like that. But I'm not sure what the brain thing is actually supposed to be. So let's see here. So we have, I was thinking I can try to do some kind of racing gameplay, some kind of SimCity-ish thing. Or I also had some further. But let's try doing the racing thing. It's the car racer. What I usually do with this thing is that I just delete the Git folder, and I will make a new Git repository later. So because that's the one from the hot reload template. And then I just launch this Sublime project here. And then there's lots of crap because of things. I usually also go in here and I should. This is the Sublime project file. I usually just throw in base and core into the project also, and maybe raylib, so it knows where everything is. And then I change the build system name to car racer. Maybe I should put these settings into the template, maybe. Like that. Anyways, let's see here. We go to game.odin. Does it compile? Wait, no, must change the build system. Car racer. Does it compile? Everything, I'm happy. Yeah, good. As usual, I will just delete all the crap I don't want in here. Target, players, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is exactly what I did the other day. Maybe I should optimize this template for my own usage or something. Who knows? Delete that. You can keep the camera. Like that. I don't know why vsync isn't enabled in this template. Like that, maybe. It's always troublesome with templates where you must delete everything before you get going. But on the other hand, I want it to have some kind of nice, something nice to see in the template when people download it. So I don't know. Because I did it both for myself, but I also wanted to upload it somewhere. So we're doing the car racer. In the car racer, you need a car. How do you do that? Well, maybe you have a block that's your car or something. Maybe it's like a rectangle. Car is a rect. And then we draw the rectangle somewhere. Draw rect. And as usual, my LSP doesn't work unless I restart Sublime. Draw rectangle rec. We draw the car, red color, see how that looks. It's not there. That's because I haven't initialized the rectangle. It has 0 width and 0 height. We can do like this maybe. It's 20 wide, no, 8 wide, 20 high. No, that's the position needs to be here. So it's like 70, 30 or something. Thank you. Oh, we can restart this. There's our car. And then we need to sort of drive this around somehow and also rotate it and stuff. So let's do that. We will go here and we will be like movement. There was some code like this here, but is key down up. And then we just do like this. Down. This here we check the keyboard keys. Up, down, left, right. If they are pressed. And then we good morning Semzu. And then we do movement.y plus equals 1. Today we're making a car racer. Which means that we will try to race around through some checkpoints maybe on the screen with a little something. This is probably not the correct way to do this because you want the position and the rotation, so the rectangle might be the correct thing really. Maybe we can do like this. Car size is vec2. How big did I make that? 820. A car is a struct. No, we don't need that. I don't want that yet. Car pos is a vec2. Car rot is a f32. So it's like the rotation of it plus the position of it, and the size is fixed right now. Movement times rl.getFrame time. Something like that. Right, now there's no rectangle here, but we can make one. I think I have like a rect from pos and size. So I can do like this. Yeah, exactly. Then we use that there instead. Pos. David Dash asks if the game memory being a pointer necessary for hot reloading to work. Yeah, it helps because it's created once down here, you know, and then it reuses the same dynamically allocated thing over and over. If it's not a pointer, this thing, if game memory, this thing here is not a pointer, then the problem that happens is when you reload the DLL, if it was like this, then this has a different address in every DLL. But and that could be fine if you sort of feed back the same game memory into it and just write it over. But if I, for example, have a pointer in here or something that's like car rot, this is of course a silly thing. But if I had taken a pointer to this and stored it here, then this pointer would break if I hot reload. So any pointer that refers to anything that's within the game memory, if this is not a pointer, then the game memory will move each time. But yeah, so if you do like this, it ends up in the static data block of the DLL. So it's like sort of recreated as a global variable. Here, the only thing that lives in the static data block is the pointer itself, where they can set the pointer, and then the memory inside stays fixed. Okay, did that work? Probably, but it's probably slow. Oh, it left. Okay. I already need some graphics on this. Of course, it's a car racer, so we will make our car now. Should it be that big? Or should that be the size of? Maybe it's a bit long. And maybe... Yeah, let's try this. Oh, what palette are we using today? Game Boy, perhaps? Tags? Teletext? No. God, no. Monokai. Isn't that like the font in... the color theme from Sublime? Pico 8, says David Dash. Let's try Pico 8. I like Pico 8. Although I've never used it, I just like it. I like it in theory. Game Boy Color Type 1. Wow. Let's use this one. What I usually do then is set it as default. So if I make more files, I get the same. Right. So we need a car, orange car. A car looks something like this. And it has ears. My other screen just... poof, and then turn on again. I'm like, huh? What happened? Aha. This is how a car looks. It has some eyes. Then it has a nose. Whiskers. Looks like a tail, very important for a car. Here we go. Looks perfect. It's a car. But it looks a bit like a mouse, but it's a car. Right, so we have the texture here. Let's game build hot reload. Let's enable the Atlas builder, so we don't have to. So we can use the texture right away. For those who don't know, I have the Atlas builder as part of the template. So it builds a Atlas builder and then it runs it and it outputs an atlas of all the textures in here. They can be a sprite files. And then you see there's the little thingy up there in the corner. And then it also outputs metadata. So I see I have texture name car, and it says where in the atlas it is. So it detected that. And now I can use, since this is a metadata file that's pre-generated, I can statically talk about in the code, talk about textures. I don't have to sort of wait until runtime to know if a texture exists, because I have the names in the code. Yeah, like Max Player One says, the idea is to spend one day on a prototype, or will you spend more streams on a game if you like it? Yeah, I was thinking of just doing a few different ones, and then maybe I will, when I feel like it, I will return to one that I couldn't stop thinking about and do some more on it or something. So we fetch from the Atlas textures the car, and this is actually just a rectangle. So what we need to do here is, right, Atlas is rl.load texture Atlas. No, you can just write Atlas. What is it called? At the bottom here, texture Atlas file name. That one. We do like that. And then we can just draw using it. So we can say rl.draw texture rec atlas, the car text.rect, position is car pos tintar.white. And then we stop drawing the rectangle on top of it. Wait. here it is. Excellent. I'm not sure exactly what it's gonna be like yet. I'm just if it's gonna be micro machines like, or but maybe sometimes I think of the old racing game like Ignition, which was more of like a 3D game, but it was like top-down 3D where you jump around. But I don't know, I'm just gonna do something where you can race through some gates or something. Atlas, blah blah blah, carrot, power, pos. Okay. Now we need to make this be able to turn. So left and right should not. That should rotate the car. Carrot minus equals. Let's just do like that. And then we can do like this. We can take this thing, put it in a variable. This is the frame time. That's the how long the previous frame took. And then we need to use the rotation RL.draw. Which texture drawing proc? Do I need to use the full projected one? Right. Well, I could use this one. No, I need to use this one. So we take all these stuff and draw texture project. Want a source rectangle, that's the car text.rect. Was a destination rectangle. Dest is this one, but it should sit at dest.x is gmail.carpos and dest.y is no, yeah. Something like that. And then origin. So we the origin of this one parameter, that's the origin. And if you want to rotate something, it's good to put origin in the middle. Otherwise, you will rotate around the top left corner. I mean, I can show what happens if I don't do that. Car rot. This is probably very slow rotation. Yeah, you see now what happens. See that it rotates around the top left corner. That's not what you want. So you want here, this is a vector, that's the origin, and you just put it in the middle, then it will rotate around the middle, which might be better. And so you just do like car text.rect. Since you can just do this also. Car rect. Dot width divided by 2, correct dot height divided by 2. Now it rotates around the middle, which is what you want. Right. And now I want to drive in the direction it's looking. Let's just move this. So what we can do here is, let's just do acceleration for now. So give it a velocity. Whatever. Car. position. Just gonna do my life a bit easier here. Like that, I think is what I want. I thought rotted plus. That didn't make any sense. Right. Right, now we need to rotate the we need to have a velocity that we add to. So David Dash, what you wrote is almost correct if you want to only have a speed that goes forward, but if you want to be able to sort of slide a bit, then you probably want a velocity, and then you try to use that. Like you add to the velocity, and then. But I guess you can do what you wrote, but use, instead of speed, use some acceleration. So acceleration can be like F32. Like that, maybe. And then we say C dot velocity is let's add to the velocity in the math dot. Yeah, so you rotate. Is this what you want? Do you want to rotate? I think I want to take this and sort of rotate it in the direction I'm facing. I think so, at least. But yeah, it's almost exactly what you wrote, actually. But it's just I switch it for this, right? And then I need to include math. And then here we instead say plus equals velocity times dt. Since this here is, I think, the acceleration here should be multiplied by delta time, right? Because you accelerate more and more as time goes. What's happening here? Of course, I assume that upwards is, this is a bit of a, let's just do like this. And then And then we probably need to... Yeah, this is usually how it is. Wait, no, that's wrong. So we can break also. Yeah, this goes in the wrong direction, does it not? Wait, am I stupid? Oh yeah, you are correct, David Dash. That's usually when you do a rotation like this, this one is negated. Wait. Oh, I know also what's wrong. Well, it doesn't matter what this is because we're just adding to it, right? But the problem is that RACER expects it to be in this one expects radians and this one expects degrees. So that's why it's wrong. Math.deg per radians. I think this will fix it. Wow. It's a bit it's a bit fast now. Wait, something is wrong. Wait a minute, is this correct? Ah, there we go. Yeah, there was... The only problem was... This is not how a car works. You can't just turn like that. How does it... CK asks if I have any way to export this for web. I mean, people have done it. I don't know. Maybe it should be possible, but I haven't really tried it. But there are people who has done that. Okay, let's think a bit about how should a car behave. If you turn while but maybe the idea of having a speed is correct actually, and you just add let's try that. Maybe that's better. So we have a speed, a rotation. So then we just add the speed in the direction we are rotated to the yeah. Let's try that. So we update the rotation, we have acceleration, and then we have speed is then just c dot speed plus equals the revolution times dt, and then the current velocity is just a rotation. The velocity is just a vector that we define here, like this. This is just the rotation times the speed, and then we used to do this maybe. That looks more. The funny thing about rotation here is that it's sort of rotation on a car is sort of relative to how fast you're going. You don't rotate at all if you're standing still, right? If you're going at some speed, then you rotate. And if you're going really fast, it's hard to turn a lot. Whee! Oh, disappeared. Whee! But it already has that property actually, that if I go fast, then I can't turn. Yeah. I can turn sharply if I go slowly, but if I go fast, then it turns. Oh well. This acceleration is of course totally bananas. And maybe it can't like currently if you go like this, then it's okay, but if I go a bit faster, then the turn radius becomes very it's to turn faster, I think. Wow, that was wow. Whee! We do like this, and then we can cap out the speed. C dot speed equals clamp from minus, I don't know, minus 10 to 50. Oh, wait. Something like this. So we clamp it so it sits in the range, minus 10 to 50. I have no idea what that means, but apparently it means this. That's too slow. Well. 100 pixels per second. What's this? Wait, what speed is it now? Maybe I should have like a speedometer on the screen. Let's do that. Let's do that. Draw. Down here we say RA.draw text. Yeah, we can just draw text. And then we say speed text fmt.ct print. We don't need a format string. We just do seed car.speed. Then we go to the top here and we think about importing core FMT. Then we have our text there. Position, and this uses the temp allocator, and the temp allocator is automatically cleared in what's it called, main hot reload, for example. In here it's cleared at the end of every frame. Anything you allocate with the temp allocator, which this T here means, lives on the lives until the frame ends. David Dash says you can also use Raylib text format. Yeah, is it? The funny thing here is that this one is actually not bound. It's it's re-implemented in the bindings here, or in the, because I think it could do some more Odin-esque things, so it was implemented like this instead, apparently. But yeah, that you can do that too. But here you can use the temp allocator straight up, which is nice. Ah, this is my favorite speed. Oh, I know. That's what's wrong also. This 400 should not be there, of course, because the speed needs to be the speed it goes at, not... And now the acceleration is very slow. I thought there was something wrong with that number, so I was multiplying by 400 here because I was thinking of some fixed acceleration, but I was thinking of some fixed speed that where I just multiply some input by some speed. Okay, this clearly is too slow. Hello, Teavias. Welcome to my car racer. We need to increase the top speed. And then maybe I will. That is annoying, that text formatter. Maybe I'll format it as a... Can I do this instead? No, I didn't finish yesterday's game. I'm just trying to do some different things, and then we shall how do I? Oh, I forgot that. How do I use format strings? Because how do I make it? Well, of course I just do this. Int. Whatever. Yeah, I didn't finish the game yesterday. I'm just trying to do a couple of different ones, and then I will work more on one of those from the other days on a new stream. So now I'm just doing my racing. Thank you, Brandon. Hello, Sasha. Whee! Right, now there is some basic driving. Yeah, Sasha, you guessed it. Car. This is car equals cat. I was trying to draw a cat, but it looks more like a mouse. Because I was gonna make a cat racer. Do, 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 do. Okay. Now I need some kind of checkpoints, I think, because you need to have some laps you can run around. So, you know, in racing games, what you usually do is you have some kind of checkpoints you drive through, and then you make sure that there is some kind of maybe some track that you run faster on. And then you could take shortcuts and not go on a track, but those shortcuts only make sense if it's faster than going on the track. So let's see, how do we make the track? Oh, maybe we can draw like a big. Maybe I can draw like a grid. That sounds fun. Let's do that. So we draw we make like a grid of like 5 times 5 pixels big. I mean, it's like 5 pixels on each, but however big that will be. This is 320 by 180 roughly. So each cell is 5 pixels, and then we draw that, and we draw in where the track is, and that way we can check what's under the car, and that is like you multiply the surface with or you add some friction maybe to somehow you change the velocity. Chad is saying that I should make a. Brandon says we need a big game like a procedure generated roguelike. Yeah, I want to make something bigger. We'll see what exactly where it ends up. You know, it's good to start small. Just find some mechanic that's fun to play with, and then go from there. I'm not too big on. I like procedural generation for small things like say that you want a wall and you place like here is the wall, and then it fills in how it looks, so you can quickly create pretty things, but it's still handmade. I don't know. Maybe I will like it if I do it more. But if you played my game on Steam, everything is made by hand, and I really like that crafty thing where it's just like, yeah. But it's you don't get so much for free. That's the problem. So. But yeah. Tiavia says, would love to see you working on some isometric gameplay in the near future. Yeah, I think when I started doing game dev, you know, my favorite game was like the old Fallout games, like Fallout 1 and 2, and I was like, oh, I should totally make like isometric role-playing game, blah, 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 blah. And I remember trying to do that a bit, and it's quite fun, but it's... yeah, I haven't gotten back to it. Like I did many years ago. I was like, I was always trying to figure out how to do a nice isometric role-playing game. But yeah, maybe maybe I should try work on that. Like I could do like something where you just, I don't know, create some character and go around, talk to people or something. I like role-playing games and isometric role-playing games, for example. Well, in general, role-playing games, I like them more about how you affect the world and we talk to people and do things that where you play a role in the world, so to speak. I like that more than create your own character stuff and leveling up. It's almost more fun if you get like skills from doing things in the world, and that shapes your character from what you did, rather than you choose some things at the start and then those things are you just get to put out points. It's more fun if the points are put there because you did something in the game that made those things happen. Or maybe at least if something happens in the game, maybe you can choose that, like, okay, here's something that happened. These 3 things happened this last hour you played. Choose one of them to focus more on. So that is sort of, yeah. I love the in Disco Elysium. I like they have the thought cabinet, where as you talk to people, you kind of get thoughts from dialogue as a loot almost, and then you can spend time on thinking about those, and then you get new things based on that. Anyways, I like that stuff. What I would love to do is make, like, at some point, first-person role-playing game, but more like dialogue focused or narratively focused. Because I like first-person games for how you explore the world, but somehow it's fun to explore those worlds, I think. Anyways, okay, let's quickly make a track editor. That's what we're gonna do. So we have so we can have a surface to drive on, and then we can put out some gates to have checkpoints. Okay, the track is a array of let's do like, how big is each? Maybe we can just do it like, either we do like either we do it in like pixels, or maybe like bigger pixels, like 5x5. Let's make, what's 180 divided by 5? 36. Track width is track, height is something else. This one is 30, let's say 40, and this one is 320 by 5, 64, let's say 70. So the track is then track width times track height. Material is an enum. Default is grass. And then we have tarmac. Or gravel maybe. Because it's nice and carry. So there we have a track. So it's just a big array, but what I mean by this array is that it's actually track width wide, but it's just a linear array like that. So then we can say something like this. Material at green point or something. So then we say, so we want to, well, maybe the best thing is to add the editor first. Same old patterns. I'm like, oh, editing bool, okay. What we'll do now? Well, maybe we will go to game update and be like, if rl.isKey pressed. For those who don't know, I always have editors in game, and I always end up using F2 to make them. If editing, let's just, this is exactly like yesterday. Nothing wrong with that. Let's take these, put them here instead, because I will need to draw some stuff on top in the editor case. Excellent. So now we can remove that update thingy. So now if we are editing, then the game stops. Okay. Editor update. Make a new file called editor.odin. In here we say package game editor update is a proc. I will see what I think in that like the track is essentially like a I don't need to show. Let me program it and we'll see. So it's just a bunch of 5x5 pixels, like 5 by not grid, but a grid where each cell is 5 pixels by 5 pixels, and we set the material and then we can sample it to see what's under the car, and then we can modulate the speed based on that. Right. So we need some way to, we need the RL mouse world pos. Mouse world is rl.get. Oh, we need some raylib in here. Need some raylib. Get, oh no. Get mouse point, mouse position. And then we need to do rl.get screen to world, and then we say camis. Sure. So you see we're using the camera only to zoom it up here. The camera doesn't actually move around, and it will probably not do that either. So then we can say track grid, track cell size is 5. Good. Mouse world.x is math.floor mouse world. Well, rather mouse grid is a vec2, where you floor mouse world.x divided by track cell size times track cell size, and the y part is there. I think I can do this. Core math linalg And then, so this is interesting. I think you can do this. linalg.floor mouse world divided by track cell size times track cell size. Because I looked at this one, right? And it's like, if it's an array, it goes over them and then floors each component. So that means that we can snap something to a grid by dividing this vector to vector 2 by this, flooring it using this one, and then re-multiplying them. You don't need to do it by component. And then we do rl.draw a rectangle. We also need to rl begin mode 2D here. Cam rl.end mode Huabas. And then we say brush is a rectangle. So this is the sort of trying to make the brush, something appear on the screen where the mouse is that we can draw. Mouse grid dot. I can use my trusty rect from pos size mouse grid and then 5 times 5. Put this here, rl.gray. You see, there it is. Is it? Yeah. Good. And then we want to if rl.is mouse button down dot left. So if you hold down the left mouse button, then we say okay. Track is a track. Oh, we don't need this thing. We just need to do this. We say gmail, and now we need to take this one is a linear array, right? But it's usually not. You could use a 2-dimensional array as well, but if you use a 1-dimensional array, then you can do like this. Mouse grid dot y times track width plus mouse grid int mouse grid dot y. Hello, Junaid. Right, and we probably want to do something like this. idx equals gravel. So it's just an array of those. Okay, we're not drawing the thing yet, so let's do that now. Let's go to draw here, and we say for t in gmail.track. So this is just an index and a material. So So the position, the rect. So each of these are like 5 by 5 pixel things like this. So each then has like the position is IDX. It's a vec2 where you take the index modulo the width. Wait, what is it? The width. And then it's index divided by the width. This is because the index is sort of like a the index, like on the second row you have like track width plus 1 index, and so if you divide index then by track width, then you get 1, and the modulo is just the remainder of the division, so that gives you your x position. That's one way to do it if you want to use a linear array to store 2-dimensional stuff. Track as what's it called? Track. Everything is broken now. Huh? Like, oh well. Alright, and then we need to do rl.draw rectangle rec. We switch on the mat. Grass, we don't do anything. Case gravel, we do this. Okay, doesn't work. Wait, is this? Someone is wrong. Ah. It was Y and Y. Okay, that almost works. You can only draw up in the corner here for some reason. Let's see. Mouse grid is where I am in the world. Because this is just these two guys are just, I think that's the problem. Okay. Because I was thinking that what am I doing wrong? Wait, this grid can't. I see the problem. This is like a mouse grid. It's like this, and then mouse grid world, or whatever you want to call it, is like this. Something like that. It's not doing the correct thing. Let's see. The index, this one, we do like that. I was setting the wrong index in my array. And then here, no, the other way around. Here I use this one. And this one we use to draw it, because you need to draw at the correct point, right? You see? Oh, we made a drawing program with a mouse. Probably need a bigger brush, but that's, well, let's add that right away, because I will get crazy for not having that. Maybe also it should be like a radius rather than a maybe I should have a editor state or something. So we have brush radius, we go down here, we say editor state like this, and we say brush radius is what? 4. Excellent number. And then we can do like this. We feed the editor state. Right. We go back here. So we want a circular brush, I think, instead. rl.draw. rl.draw. Yeah. Now there's a circle, and then we can use the mouse wheel to make it bigger and smaller. If if wheel movement wheel get mouse wheel move. If wheel movement is not 0, then s.brush radius plus equals wheel movement. See, we have can do like that. The problem here is that we can't just use a circle, since it's sort of, we want this circle to be more sort of like these blocks. So we need to draw sort of the segments of this circle, like, yeah. Let me show what I mean. Well, we need to draw it on the grid, and it needs to be made of these blocks, right? But we can fix that. I will open. I did this in some other project. I think I know which one. Let's go here to my folder of many things. And it is maybe in... I think it's in here. This is some old thing I did where I can paint like this. This is using sign distance fields. It's pretty cool. Draws pretty terrain. Not on a GPU. Well, it draws it on the CPU. It could probably do it on the GPU. I just haven't implemented it. But what I want here is the code for the circle. Oh, drop the X into the... I want to steal this stuff, right? Let's go back here. Yeah, like David that says, usually drawing from and save the previous and current mouse position and draws a line between the two. Yeah, you can also even have some smoothing. So if there's a, so it sort of tries to go in a, some of them have like a mouse smoothing thing. So you can go in sort of like a, it's almost like it's following a spline behind the cursor. So you can draw very prettily. I'm gonna get more coffee. There we go. So we stole some code from my other project. I had it in my clipboard. Let's just draw it first. Where am I? Here. Let's see what this thing does. So this is like a loop in Y. So let's change the BP here. Since like I said, I stole it from the my other project, but we do like this. World position is this one. We can change BP for, well, actually that's brush position, so that's fine. So what this thing does is that it goes one loop from, and R is the radius. R is s dot brush radius. So it goes from this position, which is the center of the brush, from minus R, so it goes one radius away in Y, and then it loops until you get to the place you want to be. And a +1 here. I think this should be plus track cell size, maybe. Depends a bit on how you think about this, but let's say that it should be. This is the second channel asks, thank you for liking the stream, but also asks, will I be able to build a game from mobile with Odin and Raylib? There's no official support, like, there's no official support right now in Odin, but I think it's not, I think it's gonna happen because there are people who have gotten it working themselves. like without, like there's no official guide or anything, and there's some gotchas. But it was funny. So I have this game on Steam called Cat and Onion, and it was a guy, like I made a game I put on Steam, but it's not available on mobile. But when you buy it on itch.io, or if you're a Patreon to my channel, you get the source code. And there was a guy who took that source code and made it work on Android. Like there was lots of strange things with, like, you can go to the Odin Discord and see that in the showcase channel. And the person even posted their script for how they built the Android stuff in like there's a script of how they built it. I'll put in the chat the link to the stuff. Like here's the Discord, right? And here is someone who was like, I was fiddling around with compiling some Odin code for Android, blah blah blah, and I managed to get Carl Slinsky's Cat and Onion to nicely work for gamepad. Someone is actually playing my game here on an Android. Maybe it's an Android emulator, but whatever. They don't have the touch controls there yet, but that's just because I haven't implemented that. So, but yeah, that's pretty cool. So I was gonna copy the message link, but instead I clicked speak message, so there was a voice starting to speak my message. And you can, the person also, I'll send you the link here. Here's a link to the person sent their script that compiles my game somehow. They also said that they needed to make some changes to some libraries in Odin because how was it? I had to modify Odin threading implementation not to include pthread, set cancels, blah, some stuff like that. There was some gotchas, but David Dash one says, I wonder if you can make your own OS in Odin. Isn't there like a, yeah, if you go to the Odin Discord, there's a kernel development channel. I don't know how active it is, but there's some people, I guess they mean kernel as in operating system kernels. So there's some stuff about that. Odin Discord is great for seeing all these things. Anyways, away with Discord. So we have this thing here. I will comment out this. This is like 2 half hemispheres of the circle. This thing we do not need. This is because I was in my other editor was drawing a circle around the edge, but we want this. Draw a rectangle V maybe. Track cell size. Track cell size. This draws a rectangle at this position with this size, and maybe we make it gray. rl.gray. It's so funny, this coder, that it defines P and doesn't use it in here. And then we stop drawing the circle. Yeah, you see, it's drawing only half the hemisphere, but that looks like like what I wanted. Question is, why can't this one go from like minus R and then just plus equals like this? Is there a difference in the math between these two? No? What isn't? Oh yeah, maybe. Wait. No, the editor is active. I think it's because it aborts the loop immediately because what happens if I do this? Oh well, I can try fiddling around with that soon. I'll just draw the two hemispheres or whatever you want to call it first. Two half circles. There you go. See, you have a little brushy. They look a bit strange sometimes, but that's fine. I think it's just that it is doing the distance check a bit weird. Yeah, this is, since the radius is not it should probably be like math. Should be something like math.round this thing times track cell size. I don't know, maybe. Oh. And now it's at least does look kind of correct. Except that it feels like there's some steps missing to the circle. Oh well. Shouldn't worry about that right now. But it's always grid aligned now, which is what I wanted. Right. So then, let's just steal this code. Then when you click the left mouse button, it will do something like this. Why is this called? It's so weird. It's called I and J, this one. But oh well. The index in the track array is I, J. If the index is less than the length, then we set, so we loop over the whole brush and set all the places in the brush. I think this will work now. Wait. Ah, this is because I'm doing the wrong thing again. Let's just do like this, maybe. Take this, put it in a block. Do like that. David says maybe you can try math.seal. I'll see if I can make the brush nicer soon. I think it needs to be like this, that it's in like, okay. Interesting. Oh yeah, because this needs to be +1 here. Now it works. I made a drawing program. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Very nice. Yeah, I can try. A seal, or maybe it should be floor. It might be this equal sign here, actually. Yeah. Why is it weird on the other side now? Well, this is not important right now. I just want to draw a track, which I successfully did. That's all that matters. Like maybe if I do like this. Nah, whatever. No more time on that. Anyways, so I want to draw like a track, like this. And now we can drive, but it doesn't yet do anything because we need to sample it, like what's under the car. Goes so fast. Right. So let's sample it. We use, for starters, we will just take the position of the player and look in that track, but maybe then we need to sample a few points because it's bigger than one cell, maybe. Here we go. So we have the player position. We just need to look into this one. Pos. See the pos. C.pos. What's how do? I need to go. So it's similar. We just take the cedar post. Oh, wait, we can just do this, I think. Car track post, because so that again the track is much more granular than the actual pixels, so we need to do that, I think. Not 100% sure, but probably work. So this is the track pos, and the track index is then track pos dot y times track width plus track pos dot x, and then material is we can just write mat is a material if track index is less than length of the track, then we set mat equals track mat, no, track index, and then we can constantly print the material for now. Let's see. Oh no, what did I do? What did I do? Ah, it's probably negative. I think the car slowly left the screen. There's grass, that's good. Now it says gravel. All the time. Now it says grass. That works. Now it says gravel. Gravel, grass, gravel. Woo! Okay, it doesn't do anything yet, of course. It just prints the current material. But then we can do like a no. Something like that. This will at least slow us down. Oh, I need to save my track to disk maybe. See, now if I drive outside, I lose all my speed. Wow. Okay, cool. I think we need some kind of friction for when you're just rolling. Let's add that. And that's sort of like a number. Between 0 and 1, I think. It's like a friction coefficient. So on gravel the max speed is 50. The friction is, no, on grass the friction is very high. It's like 0.8. We might not even, well, and on gravel it's like 0.2 maybe, I don't know. And then the acceleration times equals the friction. I don't know what the physical units of friction coefficients usually is. Because if you know the unit, then you usually know the math. Wow. Maybe, is it unitless? I guess it is. I guess it is unit. Or is that? No, this is a force. It's a coefficient. Yeah, I think it's unitless. Yeah, I think that's usually the case with these coefficients that are used between 0 and 1. Because they're like just like a scalar. Anyways. But we need to sort of what is it we need to do? We need to decelerate you. This is not correct, but it might do something. Yeah. Whoa, whoa. See, it stopped. See if it... Does it stop faster on... Free... It rolls forever. But on grass... It stops much quicker, so that actually works. The friction is much less on the gravel now. Although I think the friction is a bit high. Low, I mean. Roo-roo-doo-doo. You can also cheat and do something like this. Instead of having this max speed, you could still do this, but you can be like, if you're on grass, if c.speed is more than 50, then the friction becomes like 2. Then it will decelerate. So now if you go fast, and it sort of slowly decelerates while on the grab. Maybe it should be more, like 5. It should probably be like a linear thing. The faster you go, the more it decelerates. Whee! Yeah, we can do like this. Remap c.speed from minimum 50 to 200. If it is 50, then the friction should be 0.8. Otherwise, it will go up to like 10. So if you go really fast into, but maybe that's actually wrong. So if you go really fast, maybe you just fly over a but now it very quickly decelerates now. Maybe shouldn't. Anyways. Hello Aku, who says when cat tire physics? I don't know. Like it needs to be like I want the legs, the animated cartoon legs where it is just and a pew. Actually don't need brum, brum, brum. Okay, let's add the checkpoints maybe and some lap counter or something. Or you know what, we can add a little quick serialization of the track. We can just do like this, save as a proc, and then we make a load as a proc. Save I will just serialize it to JSON or something. Import core encoding JSON. Then we will do JSON.Marshall a track. Well, I'm not sure that's gonna work. You need an object to marshal. Okay, let's just do like this. Make a struct here called save state, and in it we have a track. this. Save state is this, and track is from gmem.track, and then we marshal that whole thing. So this one turns a struct into JSON and return some error that I'm not gonna care about right now, and then I say need the OS package. Write entire file. Track.json j like that, I think. Then we'll do something similar here where we say S is a save state, but it's empty. Then we do if os.read entire file track.json. Use the temp allocator. Data, okay. I think this one just returns a bool. Like that. Then we can say if unmarshal data into S and allocator is also context of temp allocator. And the error is nil. In this case, save state now contains a track, so we can say gmem.track equals s.track. So the only reason I wrap this in object here is because JSON seems kind of assumes it to be an object. Oh, this one doesn't have two turn values, I think. Like that. Those two work. So then, if editing, so here, if I am editing but gonna leave the editor, then I save, and then on init I load. Did it save? Well, if there's something here. And it has some numbers in it. What happens if I just press F6 now? Bam. Didn't work. So load doesn't work. Hello, Sebastian. Maybe this is why. Yeah, it works now. Oh, I realize I have no way to erase. So I'm like, how do I can't erase anything. Set track draw is a proc. I just need to be able to hold the right mouse button to erase, but to do that I must have some kind of way to do. I don't want to copy this whole thing. So just make a little procedure. I go this, put it in here. Then I have my brush pass and my radius. And then I can say draw at BPR with gravel. Yeah, still works. If the right mouse button is held down, then we draw with grass instead. And it works. Yay. Whoops. I know why indexes. Index is less than 0. Now you can do this if you want to. Amazing. Maybe we can be like this, and then we go like just the hard part. Okay. Let's say that we need to add checkpoints and a timer. So maybe you should run 5 laps and it says how fast you ran them at the end or something. So in order, let's do the timer first. So this is the number of seconds since you started. Well, start time is this one. Whatever. And then we just go to the bottom here and we draw. Yeah, I could make some proc to check if something goes out of bounds, but yeah, it's it works for now. Let's see here, speed time. Time elapsed. This one should not be. How do I need to format this string, I think. I'm just checking something here. there's lots of nice format strings in here. Is it like that maybe? And then we say, like over here, we draw the time. And there we go. Draws with 3 decimals. Good. Then we need a lap counter. Lap is an integer. Num laps. Num laps we set to some nice value in init 3 or 5 maybe. Let's set 3 for now. 4. Good. In between. And then we'll do like this. Lap is fmt.ct print lap. Wait. Lap count. Lap string. Like this. So we say v/v. This will lap out of gnum.numlaps. Take this thing, draw a bit further away. There you go, maybe. Right. And then you win when this hits 4. You win. Oh, well, win, but it's the end. How do you win? How do you win when you only race against yourself? You beat your own time. Huh. If then this one just returns. Well, okay, we don't need this thing really. We know that implicitly. We have that information here that we're done. Okay, we need a restart thingy here. Restart is a proc. David Dash asks, if I make a dynamic array of dynamic array, if I want clear, I have to delete every dynamic array inside the array. That's correct. If you have a dynamic array and then, like, when you add things to the dynamic arrays inside that dynamic array, then those dynamic arrays are separate and will allocate their own memory. If you just clear it, then you sort of, you kind of lose them. You don't know, you lose track of that memory. You have no way of getting back to sort of being able to free that memory. if you ever do dynamic arrays of dynamic arrays, then you should also question if it's actually what you need. Sometimes what you need is maybe instead you want one-dimensional dynamic array and do something. Maybe you can have two separate dynamic arrays, one that has all the things in it and one that sort of groups things together or something, or something like that. Or maybe some category on each thing. Because whenever you have arrays in arrays, to me it's a sign that maybe it's not the best solution, but it could be. This is our restart proc, so we do like this, and then we can remove that. We can set this in here also, even though it doesn't change. This numlapse could be a constant for all we know, but if we want to, but yeah. Okay. If rl.isKey pressed enter, then we restart. So this is if we have completed all the laps. Then that happens. We can even say like this: end has an race over. It's a procedure, returns a bool. Well, whatever, this will just do this. Return blah. If race over, like this. And then we can, at the bottom here, just say if race over, and then we draw in big text your time. Like this. Maybe we can do like this even. All these guys we just put here. Delete them. Lapsed. We make big text. We can even do this. R.measure. Because right now if we just do something like this, right? This might compile. I don't have any way to up the lap counter right now, but let's see here. Let's add it. We could add the checkpoints maybe. I can also add a cheat button for now. If rl.isKey press L, then we add 1 to the lap counter. See it increase there. So now if we reach, bam, now you can no longer control it and your time says there. Let's center that one, and the way you do that is by going here and typing something like rl.measure text. This gives you the let's just use measure text. Then we send in the time there and we say the same font size 40. And then here where we set the position, we can just say, well, 40 is a bit big because maybe, no, it's actually not, it's fine. We can say you get the screen width, or rather, it's not a screen width, it's the pixel window height. The funny thing is you can you can make it bigger like this. Because I'm silly and made it that way. Oh. It's roughly correct. But this is your window width minus text width is this. Minus text width divided by 2, and this is also divided by 2. There you go, now it's centered, roughly. Well, it is centered on the playing field, because that one, so, but yeah. You would need, in order to position it correctly in the middle, you would need to calculate the aspect ratio, because, yeah, this game always has 180 pixels on the height, but the width, but yeah. Or you could add in black bars on the sides or something if you want to. And then here we just say pixel height divided by 2 minus 20, because this is the height of the text. There you go. Now press enter and it starts over. Excellent. I would like that friction to be a bit more. I mean, this max speed we don't even use anymore. What is the max speed on? Do like that. On grass you can't drive faster than 100, and it will. Yeah, there we go. It needs to be really aggressive in how it punishes you. Otherwise you can take too many shortcuts. There you go. Right, let's add the checkpoints now. That's the final thing we'll do here, I think. A checkpoint is essentially just a thing you need to drive through, and if you drive through it, then and it's the next one. Like, you need to drive through them in order. You have the first one, the second one, and then when you drive through the last one, you get a lap, sort of. Tiavias asks, are you a full-time game dev, or do you do this as a part-time job? No, it's full-time. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out what game to make next, because I worked full-time on my previous game that's on Steam, which I have linked in the description of the video, but yeah, so I'm still trying to sort of prototype some stuff. But it's also just fun to make this little one-off streams where I just try things I haven't done before, like the car racer. Okay, let's add checkpoints now. We need to place them in the editor. Edit mode is an enum. You can edit ground or checkpoints. So you have your edit mode there. It's ground by default. And then I think I'll just place some boxes, maybe like rectangles, and if you are inside them, then you are past the checkpoint. Let's quickly do that. So this is the edit mode for the ground. Delete all this. Then we say switch s.edit mode k switch case ground. And then we add a new edit mode. So now it's in the ground mode. We just need to, if rl.isKey pressed 1, then s.mode equals ground. Then just do a couple of these. 2. When you're just making a tool for yourself, you don't always need these fancy UIs. I can just use hotkeys. It's just for me. It doesn't matter if there's a button with tooltips and everything. If you're working with someone else, then you need to have, like, especially if it's a bigger team where you need discoverability. Okay. Do something similar here. Get the world position of the mouse. Wait, something is... It's like the end mode 2D. Somehow got lost. Right. The checkpoint rect is mouseworld.x, mouseworld.y. Let's just throw it 2020 big for now. Red, green, blue, 0, 0, 100, 100, 255, 100. David Dash asks if you think making some sort of ID system is a good way of avoiding dangling pointers. Yes, I think because if you have something like entity is a struct in blah blah blah, there's lots of stuff in here, fields, then entities, if you want to make it like this, like in C++ often you end up like this, where each is separately heap allocated. Or something because of inheritance and stuff. That's extremely slow and probably not what you want. It's nice to have them tightly packed like this, but then any pointer to anything in here will get invalidated when this one grows because it will move the whole array in memory. So in that case you can use a handle that is a struct that has an idx is an integer and a generation is an integer, and then the generation is whenever an index is reused in this one, the generation is bumped, so then you can compare the generation of a handle, like this is an entity handle. So, and this is where it is in the array, and this is if, and then whenever you have something like get entity, then it, and this pointer here you cannot store, you can only use it temporarily, because it might again get invalidated, but yeah, then you can just like if maybe the entity here can store the generation or something, I don't know. So if entities h.index.gen equals h.gen, then you return entities, something like that. This is a handle-based array, essentially. There's many benefits. You're not gonna dangling pointers. You get it's very fast to iterate through. Everything is one big allocation. Like if you want to get into, everyone talks about data-oriented programming and stuff, and then people be like, oh, I want to make an ECS or something. Well, you probably don't need an ECS, but a good thing to do if you want to make sure that your program runs a bit faster is just to use flat arrays where everything comes as one allocation and not as tiny separate allocations. That's like the first good step to laying out your data better, is to have a few allocations and arrays. Like if you have an array of things, make sure it's not each thing being separately allocated. There's of course this classic article, Handles Are the Better Pointers, by the guy who made Sokol Classic. It only talks about the generation stuff at the end. But yeah. And I also handle-based array. I also have somewhere, I think. I don't remember where really, but I think I have on GitHub. Maybe it's on maybe it's a gist. Here's all my super secret gists. No, they're not secret. Atlas Builder. I think I have it here somewhere. Here. I don't know if this one is any good. I don't remember. This one uses a free list and separate allocations. You could also have this one, instead of dynamic, you could have a fixed array so that it's like has a maximum number of things in it. Like you just send in a number here and say like, oh, it should be like maximum 4,000 entities, and then you can do that instead. If you don't want, then you won't have a problem with then you won't have the trouble with pointers getting invalidated. If you use a fixed array that's already fixed, then pointers can never get invalidated since it's fixed. But you still have the problem with slots getting reused without. If you just have a pointer and continue using it, someone else might have deleted that entity, destroyed it, and reused the slot already. So then the generation is always good to check if it's the thing you have at hand still the thing you worry about, or the thing you care about. Anyways. This is wrong. So there is my little rectangle. Let's just make it. Or maybe I used to have a realization. We should probably not. Maybe the checkpoint should just be a ground type or something. No. Well, I don't know. Then it would be easier maybe, but then I could just paint it on. But then it would change the ground underneath. Oh, well, let's do like this for now. Make it a bit bigger. I can put one there, one there, one there maybe. Something like that. David there says, think of making something like this, but making a list to store the entities and a map to store the references and using the ID to get the reference. I think that's, you could do that probably, but its print is just probably slower. If you just have the index is like, it's so bizarrely fast to fetch one. Like, if you make a big game over time, these reference stuff might start like fetching from a map. It's way more expensive than fetching. Like the best thing you can do is always just to have an index into an array. That's always the best type of reference you can have, if it's possible. Should only use a map if you truly need to for some reason. But yeah. I'm stalling a bit here because I'm not a fan of my box, and I was like, maybe I just want to draw a checkpoint, but then yeah. Let's do that. Let's screw this. The checkpoint thingy can be there still, but I will just add a new checkpoint. Like that. And how do you draw the checkpoint? Well, of course you hold the middle mouse button. And then you have the problem of, okay, this might not be the best thing ever, but we'll see. Checkpoint is the same as gravel. Case.checkpoint. It doesn't speed you up or slow down. Maybe you could get a speed boost. Wow. I don't know. Maybe we do that. Checkpoint is the same, but acceleration is double for 1 frame. Well, for as many frames as you're in it. Case.checkpoint rl.draw rectangle rec rl red. So now you can draw like this. I mean, this is gonna give me a problem because I might sometimes miss a checkpoint by sneaking through like a some pixels, but oh well, we'll see. Excellent. And this, of course, saves automatically since it's part of the track now. Right. However, there's no... I don't know which checkpoint is which now. Like, how do I know that this is the first one, second one, third one, and then the final one? There's too little info for that. One, two, three, four. Oh well, let's just hack around it a bit for now. I can make something work, but it's not gonna be perfect. So we can do something like this. If I explain what I'm doing. I was just thinking, if I passed from something that's not checkpoint into a checkpoint, then I increase some kind of checkpoint counter or something. But I need a better editor for this. I essentially need some way to define that this is the first one, this is the second one, the third one, or something like that. Not sure, but... if mat equals dot checkpoint and previous mat is not dot checkpoint, no, this is not gonna work. Then you can just stand at one checkpoint and go back and forth. So I need to label them somehow. Okay, we'll do this instead. Got so complicated. Okay, I will do this. Don't do that crap. And do the hacky. We'll keep the checkpoint drawn into a level like that. That's not too bad. But we'll still need to define the zones of where the checkpoints are. So that's a checkpoint. So we still need this edit mode here. Here I could make a whole editor to draw these rectangles. I'm just gonna make them fairly big. And then I will do like this. Checkpoint num is an integer. And then I will draw r.draw text. So we take the checkpoint number we have. So I will just make it so that you can set which number each one has. All right. So the checkpoint number we draw at the middle of the rectangle, roughly. With some font size, maybe a little bit of 15, and we make it rl.orange. Those needs to be integers because for some reason draw text takes integers while the ones that take vectors take floating point vectors. No, it needs to be like I32 essentially. There's 0, and then if rl.isKey pressed.up, then we do s.checkpoint_num plus equals 1, and down we decrease it. Then we can control which. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna check if I'm on top, if I'm inside one of these zones, and I'm also inside. It might be a bit of overcomplicating things, but because this zone is so, I think the best thing to do would have had to be like you can draw like rotated rectangles, and then you check if you're inside those maybe. But yeah, let's just do this now. This will work. Points is a dynamic array of checkpoint is a struct that has a rectangle the handle-based array is just an array of things, but the reason you introduce the handles is that you don't want to handle pointers because those might get stale and sad. And then you can also have and then you can also have the generation just to check if a slot has been reused, because that's something you will like. If one slot has a tree in it and someone has a handle to it, but the handle is just an index, and then the tree is destroyed and replaced by a stone, but something is still still has this handle to it, then if it's only an index, then there will be like, it will go to the where before there was a tree and now there's a stone, and just keep using it, but it has actually been completely replaced. So generation counter will just make sure that whatever generation is on the handle is the same as the one on the slot. So then it, if the thing has been replaced, it's like, no, you don't get then you just return nil for that slot when you try to fetch it if the generation doesn't match, or you return some error code or something. So we have some checkpoint info here. Is mouse button pressed left. We're almost done here for today, but I just want to append the rect is this, num is s.checkpoint_num, like that. And then we need to save that also as part of our save. So we just do checkpoint is a slice of life, slice of checkpoint infos. So this one is a slice because it's better to, there's no point in storing a dynamic array in here really. So what you can do here is just like import core slice. So for saving, you just fetch the slice that contains, like you fetch everything in the dynamic array. You fetch a slice that looks into the whole dynamic array. This doesn't do any allocation. It will just take the pointer to the first element and say how long it is essentially. That's what a slice is. It's just a pointer and a length. But then here we allocate using the temp allocator. So this one inside save state here is allocated using temp allocator, but the thing we need here is dynamic because we might grow it while we play. So there's slice.clone to dynamic. So you can say s.checkpoint.info. Then it will clone that data. It needs to clone it anyway since it lives on the temp allocator, since that will die. And then yeah. So now if I do, this is the fourth. No, oh, I'm not drawing them in the. Hold on. Draw checkpoint info mouse world and what more s.checkpoint.now. So we do that. Then it's drawn, but then we can also down here be like for C in gmem.checkpoint.infos, then we can say draw checkpoint info. It's so silly that the size is fixed here. I store the rect inside the thing, but here the size is fixed. Let's do this maybe. That this size is fixed. It's just me. If I work anything more on this, I will make a thing where you can draw a oriented box, but I don't have time to fix that right now, so I'm just doing like this instead. Draw checkpoint info c.rect c.num, right? And it doesn't. I guess we could put the begin mode to the around everything here. Remove them from the specific drawing procs. Here you go. That's the fourth one. Not the fourth, it's the third, and I have no way to remove them. Ah! Running out of time. How do I remove them? Wait, I haven't saved it, so that's how I removed it. This is the first one. This is the second one. This is the... There you go, that's what I wanted. So now you have, here is your checkpoints. Oh, there's one of them at least. I should change the JSON output formatting so that it pretty prints it. Because this is useless. We can do that. Just this. Save. Opt is JSON the Marshall options, and then this has some nice stuff in it. Pretty. Aha. Wait. No? Ah, wait. It's only the Marshall proc that needs the options. This one only needs specification, but that's the default one, so that should be fine. Now if we go back to track.json, looks like this. I mean, it's lots of dummy data in here, but at least at the bottom you have your checkpoint infos like this. Good. Now we have all we need. Now we just need to do like this. If math equals dot checkpoint, trying to move this guy out. If material is checkpoint, then we do for c in daemon checkpoint infos. And then we have the player position, if rl dot rect point rect, what is it called? Check collision point rect takes the position of the car and the checkpoint info. So here we just checking if we're inside this rectangle. Then next checkpoint is an integer. What is it complaining about here? Ah, wait, I see what's wrong. Both are called C, and I didn't even notice, even though I wrote that thing. If ch.num, this is the checkpoint number. If it's the one we are expecting, which is gmem.check next checkpoint, and we are inside the rect, then gmem.next checkpoint plus equals 1. That will make you go through all the checkpoints, and then how do you know if you're done? You almost need to know which is the last one. I can do like last checkpoint. It's an int, so we do like this. If ch.num is bigger than last checkpoint. This is just so I can keep track of which one is the last one. if gmem.next checkpoint is bigger or equals to last checkpoint, then gmem.lap plus equals 1 and gmem.next checkpoint should be 0. Let's see if it works. I shouldn't be able to do this, but okay. Maybe we can print the checkpoint number in the corner so I don't get, so I trust what's happening. Wow. Lap checkpoint is check. 220 maybe. Okay, now it's a 0 there. That's good. Go for this one. Still 0. Go for this one. It's 1. Good. And now 2, 3. 1, 2. Ah, wait. There's an off by 1 error, I think. Yeah. Let's restart that. Go. Checkpoint is 0 because we're passing 0 now. 0 there. And then we got 1 lap. This is working. Wow. Car racer, so hard. 2 laps. 3 laps. Wait, I missed that one, didn't I? Oh, I'm gonna have to go back. Car so slow. There you go. 2, 3. 35 seconds. So now you have a record. Maybe it should have the record somewhere on the screen. Something, but yeah. This is not perfect. Like ways you could improve this is, like I said, to instead of having these boxes here, you could have make like a oriented rectangle that that both knows the number and knows where it is. And then you need to maybe do some kind of, to be really sure that everything went smoothly, maybe you need to do some kind of analytical collision detection where see if you went past it. Or you can you can have 2 lines. You can have like a line that, a checkpoint could also be 2 points. It can be a point here and a point there. And if the line that goes between the player's previous position and the new one, if that line intersects the line of the other line that makes the 2 points of the checkpoint, if those intersect, then you have since the last frame past that checkpoint, and then you can associate that little line with the number also, and that would be a much better solution than this crap. But yeah. Oh. Okay, let's restart. Let's focus. See here if I can. Oh, let's play the car game in big screen. Do it like this. I missed it. Car game is very hard. Also, it's not like you want an analytical check of if you pass the checkpoint, because if you have a stutter or something, you might miss a checkpoint. How did I get 35 seconds previously? Okay, focus. No, I missed it. I'll go back quickly. Beat it. Going backwards. Because I missed this checkpoint here. Yeah, I'm speedrunning my own game. When will we see the world record of sub 30? Maybe now. Let's see. Not today. that second checkpoint is so hard because it's so thin, so it's very easy to accidentally go outside it. Nice. 25 seconds. All right. That's probably the most gameplay we've done on one of these morning prototyping streams. It's actually a game with everything. What was I thinking here? Let's let me make a GitHub repository for this. Patrons, as usual, will have access to all the source code of all. Patrons get both source code to my full game that's on Steam, Cat and Onion, but they also get all these things I work on stream. So I will just make that now. Make it here. So here is my Patreon subscriber page on GitHub that you get invited to when you support me. And this is where I will put it. Repositories, new car racer. Create. Then we take this line here, we open a command prompt. We commit all this, initial made during stream. And then we take this. Then we take that. Whoops. Did we just name it main bracket? We sure did. There we go. So if anyone is a patron, then that's the code. Yeah, thank you all for watching. That's the end of today's stream. It was quite a fun one, I think. We'll see, maybe on Thursday or Friday or something I will work a bit more on one of these free games I've streamed the prototyping of during this week. Anyways, thanks a bunch for watching. Have a nice day and happy programming. Bye bye.